He did.
Yo. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Spin That Back show with your host, El Pooh, the producer, the infamous. Today, we got Mr. Nice Guy up in here, and we got Mr. Floyd X. Mr. J Walk is missing in action, just like he is on this his Sex Talk with Walk show every Thursday night. 9 p.m. But today, hey yo, what we got up here, y'all? What we gonna be talking about tonight?
Hey man, we're about to spin that back. We going to the hip hop. We got a great topic and subjects we speaking on. Come on, man. We got Mr. El Pooh and J Walk. You know they started this show called Spin That Back, where they talked about the hip hop, and we go through it in order to avoid getting strikes and banned from YouTube. We can't play hip hop music, but guess what? We could talk about it all day.
And what's the show again? What's the name of it?
Spin That Back, El Pooh. Spin that back. Spin that back. That's what I'm talking about. Look. We got myself. My name is Floyd X. My rap name used to be Papa G, PGLOC, MC Titan, MC Titanic. I had like 50 different names. I was a rapper / producer. I made beats. And that's my credentials. Mr. El Pooh, you want to let them know what you did? Where were you at in hip hop?
Yes, sir. I started off as a producer, started making beats. I fell into rapping because we went to a studio one time. I was going to LA High. And me and my boy had went up there. We had it was like a 3-man group. I was the producer. We had 2 MCs. One of the MCs got on the mic and froze up. So I had to take over. So that's how I got into the rapping part of it. So yeah, we ended up being the Funky Fanatics, and then we changed our names to Just for Kicks. It was me, my boy Soul D, who goes by Soul. What's his name now? Soul Nana. He's out there. Check him out, Soul Nana. He's out there on all platforms and everything. And the one y'all know is Josh Skills from the 5 Footers. She started off as Unfadable Jade, but yeah, we was the Just for Kicks crew. Yes, and that was back in the early 90s.
Cool. Mr. Nice Guy, come on. What's your credentials, brother?
See, my background, I started this off as a break dancer. You know, my break dancing crew, we was JCB. I ain't going to get into no explanation what that stood for, but suffice it to say, that's how we started out. You know, from there, I remember going to the Fresh Festival and seeing Jam Master Jay cut up that run, and that's when I went and got my turntable. So I became a DJ. So when I first was DJing, my name was DJ Sound. But then, you know, I started getting into the rapping, and I shout out to my brother, Ralph, who was like, you know what, your name should be Tom Slick. So for a while, you know, I was going by Tom Slick. So definitely when I was rhyming, it was Tom Slick. But at one point I became Mr. Incredible, but I stopped that when The Incredibles came out. So I was actually going by Mr. Incredible like a while before that dropped. But once that dropped, I was just like, let me go back to, like, you know, I call myself the Saint, the Noble Saint. And then Mr. Nice Guy is basically flipping Saint backwards. So that's where I landed. So it's Mr. Nice Guy. And
okay, I was about to say.
That's the RAW, Radical Applications of Wisdom. So, you know, it started out something different, but that's where it ended up. So shout out to my brother Kana, the other half of my crew.
Radical Applications of Wisdom. Got you. Cool. All right. So let's get into it. What we talking about, Mr. El Pooh? I know. Oh God, come on, man. We talking hip hop. We talking Nas, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I listen to all his albums, all of them. I play them and I listen for the jewels. He hasn't missed a single beat on his flow skills. He hasn't fallen off not one tither.
So how did you come into to Nas? When did you first hear about Nas?
I mean, I'm assuming it's the barbecue, like, you know, the time when I wasn't into New York rap that big. But, you know, they say the barbecue, that's when he first started. But when I first heard Nas or first paid attention was the New York State of Mind song. When he said, I do make the dude do a monkey flip, that shit, I was like, damn, I visualized that shit. And I saw that everybody visualized that same shit. And it was like, damn, that shit is like,
rappers be monkey flipping off the funky shit that I
No,
be
he
kicking.
say rappers are monkey flip them.
Okay.
Cause you right, it was something with the shit I be kicking. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that shit was like, damn, monkey flip, like just falling backwards type shit. I was like,
Hey, what was your favorite song on that album?
which one?
The first album. First Nas album.
Illmatic.
I think it was New York State of Mind.
To me, there can be no question. In fact, I can't get beyond. I play this one song. I'm not even trying to listen to none of the others. That song, that album is a dope ass album. There's jewels all over that album. But I'm telling you, I play one song. I can't play nothing else.
What song?
The Whose World Is This? The World Is Yours. I mean, to me, this is a perfect song. It's a perfect flip of a sample. The scratching is on point because I'm a DJ at heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I need to be very clear. I wasn't just a jugga DJ. I'm like intricate, transforming all that stuff. I was one of the nicest DJs of my time.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was produced by Pete Rock, right?
That's I believe that Pete Rock did that.
That's
I
the
mean,
one that
it's just,
album.
to me, that song is just that's my favorite Nas song.
Whose world is this?
Well, I came into him live at the barbecue, then back to the grill again on third base joint.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
And then I heard on
they said that he wasn't on there, but that's all right.
Who said he wasn't?
He's on definitely. But then I heard I was walking. I had a Walkman. I was going to work. I used to work at a place called Diamond Chevrolet out here in Inglewood. And I had my headphones on. I heard It Ain't Hard to Tell. I'm like, this dude right here. Who is this?
It ain't hard to tell. I used to like that song.
Oh, I love that. That was a perfect flip of a set.
That was a good ass song. Yeah.
How you took the Michael Jackson.
It ain't hard to tell. Man, I used to love that shit, bro. Real talk.
Yeah. Now I'll say this: when I first had Nas, I was like everybody else. I was like, yeah, this dude is dope. I mean, I wasn't too fond of his bar about shooting or snuffing Jesus or stuff like that. But I was like, but the thing about it, once people were comparing him to Rakim, I kind of resisted him a little bit. I didn't discredit him for being dope. That made me kind of pull back because I was like, at that point, Rakim was the top. To me, Rakim was the best rapper at that point in time. And then when Nas came in and people were just sort of like passing that over to Nas, I was just like, whoa. So it made me resist him. So, you know what I'm saying? That I was kind of like fighting it a little bit. But,
yo, hold on. Spin that back. Now, check this out. How'd you feel about I'm waving automatic guns at nuns?
I didn't care about that part.
That's going back to the grill again.
Guns and nuns.
Yeah,
hey, yeah, Nas is legendary, man. The albums he put out, like I say, I listen to every album with intent. Like I know he gonna say something that's just gonna rock my head, like that. The album, the one that his best album to me, his best album is the N-word album, the nigga album.
Spin that back.
And he had that N, the way he had the whips on his back and it spelled out the N. I was like, oh, that's cool. And that whole album, he got like a whole bunch of Farrakhan in there. I'm like, that's the one for me. That's the one for me.
I don't know, man. I gotta say the first album, and I think it's highly debatable. But Illmatic was a classic because I can listen to every song on there.
Okay.
Straight up.
Where you at, Mr. Nice Guy?
Nah, and the stable of producers on that, you talking about Primo, you talking about Pete Rock. I mean, that's it. But
Large Professor, Q-Tip,
large extra P. And them definitely three of my favorite producers all time. So those are the people that I.
What's your best album? Your favorite album?
No, it's Illmatic. It's Illmatic. That's what I think.
Okay.
But I gotta say this though, as a disclosure or a disclaimer, I haven't listened to all his albums.
Wow.
His second album kind of like threw me a little bit because it was cool, but it didn't live up to the first album.
Wait, what's the second one? The Nas is like?
No. It Was Written.
Oh my God, you don't like It Was Written?
I didn't say I didn't like it.
He said he didn't like it as much, or he didn't. But I'll say this though: at the time when that came out, I was like active. So as an artist, I wasn't really trying to listen to a lot of other people just because I wasn't trying to be too influenced by what other people were doing. So I didn't, I was exposed to stuff, but I didn't really deep dive into a lot of stuff. I kind of went back to and was like, saw what I missed or whatever and things like that. I mean, so that's a part of why some of the music I didn't really like hear, like during that stretch of time when it first dropped. But I mean, Nas is that dude. But I'll say this: you talk about his discography. He's got classics. He's got classics all over a spectrum from then till now. On that last album, not the album he just came out with, but the one before, he's got a song in there called Motion. I mean, to me, that song is as good as any song that he's ever done. It's dope. But the rest of that album is kind of boring to me. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm in the camp that says this dude is a fantastic, fabulous, dope-ass, elite MC. Not a great beat picker.
So
that's the point.
Okay.
That's the point.
Let's get to the beats. Let's get to the beats.
That's what we gotta talk about.
Let's get to it.
His beat choosing was kind of. In fact, I'm gonna say it like this. Check this out. Remember when Jay-Z dropped that the takeover?
Yeah,
I thought he killed Nas so much. I went to my boy Soul's house. Yeah. He's like, man, you gotta listen to Nas reply to that. I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear nothing else from Nas. I don't want to hear. Okay. He was like, man, sit down. You gotta hear that. It made me listen to it. I heard it. I'm like, oh,
you talking about Ether?
Ether.
Yeah.
Oh, Ether.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Whoa, when I heard that, I'm like, whoa, Nas is back. Jay-Z resurrected him with that.
See, I heard Ether first. I heard Ether first. I was like, oh, this dude killed. He killed Jay.
How you hear Ether before Takeover?
I was like, I think I just moved out to Sacramento. I had a brand new family. I was trying to get my life together. I had to learn to stop wasting my money on CDs. So I didn't hear the latest. Because before I got married, and the new album come out, I'm buying it $15, $20. It was nothing. I had a job. I bought a CD. But when I got married, it didn't make sense no more to buy a $20 CD. So I didn't hear the latest. I had to hear it from my sister-in-law. She was like 16 at the time. She was like, listen to this new Nas. And she playing it in her car, her Hyundai Civic. I'm like, this shit is nice. This is Nas talking about Jay-Z. Oh, my God. He killed him. And then I heard Takeover afterward. I was like, oh, that's whack. I didn't even want to hear it. I listened to it. I said, that's here.
So let me take a vote, because it sounds like when we talk about Takeover versus Ether, so I say Ether. And so, okay, so that's what you say, Opu?
Oh, of course.
And clearly, you just said that, yeah.
But when I heard Takeover, it was like, oh, he just killed Nas' career. He just killed Nas. Because everything he was saying on there, he was like, man, the first album was cool, it was Illmatic. The second one was,
You gotta remember, he had two. Jay-Z had two, Super Ugly and Takeover.
Well, the Super Ugly came later.
I didn't like Super.
Super Ugly came after Ether.
It came after Ether. I didn't like Super Ugly.
I didn't like Super Ugly.
In fact, I was offended by it. I felt like, to me, this shows that you got your ass beat, because this is what you had to resort to. You know what I'm saying? So and the thing about, one thing that really kind of pissed me about Super Ugly, it's like you sitting here bragging about skeeting on baby seats and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, wait a second, are you bragging about sloppy leftovers?
Oh, good point. I mean,
good point. I had a problem. I had a lot of problems with Super Ugly.
Whoa. Spin that back. We gotta spin that back. Real talk right there. That's personal right there. He went too personal with that one right there.
Word. That's
cool. But his beat making, his beat picking skills are as bad as some of these females with they baby daddies.
Let me say this. I think that's funny. I think that if he would have had an album produced by Dr. Dre, because that's what everybody thought. When he got with Dr. Dre and the what's the name of that group? The Firm. We thought we were gonna get a whole Nas album produced by Dr. Dre. Everybody looking forward to it, like, oh, that's gonna be the shit. It never happened.
But the Firm kind of got slept on, right? Didn't it? That's why that whole aftermath, the first, his first thing.
The Firm did go platinum though.
Oh, it did? Yeah, because it seemed like, when he's talking about they forgot about Dre and stuff like that, he's talking about how it wasn't like the Chronic. That's when he just was like back, and everybody's like, oh, the man. But me, I love the Firm. I love that whole project. I love Phone Tap, I mean, to me, it was a genius concept, a genius execution. You know what I'm saying?
One of the best beats ever.
But can you imagine a whole album just produced by Dr. Dre and only Nas rapping on it?
Controversial take.
What's up?
Not really a Dre person.
See, that's you.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying,
I hear you.
I'm not really.
Dre,
I'm a more East Coast hip hop type of person. I like samples. I like Jizza. I like that. That's the type of stuff.
Let me ask a question though. Listen to this though. Wasn't Phone Tap one of the most innovative beats you ever heard?
It was.
Yeah.
The whole concept, everything.
Even the fact that the mic that they had, that was running through the effect, it sounded like he's on the phone. I mean, everything about it was dope.
But you gotta remember how when Dre, everybody was salivating, just waiting for Dre's next production. He had Rakim, he had Busta Rhymes, and everybody like Busta Rhymes over a whole produced by Dre album. And Dre, I don't know what happened, but he didn't show on none of those. Rakim produced by Dr. Dre would have been great. He didn't show up. Dr. Dre didn't show up. A Nas produced by Dr. Dre album, he didn't show up. Busta Rhymes produced by Dr. Dre, he didn't show up. He did 1 or 2 songs with him, but as far as a fully produced album, everybody was salivating and waiting. And I think,
how did y'all feel about that one song he did with Nas? Nas is coming.
Nas is coming. That was Dr. Dre.
That was Dre.
That was a cool song. But I don't really remember it. Nas is coming. I do remember the song.
Yeah.
But it didn't make no waves.
Like when I think about songs that I remember Get Yourself a Gun or whatever. And I remember thinking like, yeah, Jay-Z shouldn't even be trying to go with this dude. I always thought like, I mean, I respected Jay-Z. I respected him a lot more when I found out that he didn't write his rhymes, that everything was basically off the top. Because as an artist, I know that it's one thing when you're in a mic booth and you're reading, it's a different when you're just speaking and saying it as opposed to whatever. So
I don't think it's necessarily off the top like a freestyle.
No, it's not a freestyle. But I'm just saying it's remembered. That's what I was talking about. That's why I said I stress reading. I'm saying that your presentation is impacted by reading something as opposed to reciting something. I noticed that when I lay down something and I'm not reading it, I'm just purely having an emotional reaction to it. It's going to lay down better than if I'm reading it because my eyes are going to catch things and whatever. I'm still going to be able to do my emotion, inflection. I'm still going to be able to be professional. I'm just talking about the contrast. So the fact that he was able to do that whole stuff and just whatever. And I mean, that's one of those things about ODB. A lot of his stuff was very emotional, but that was just that sort of like rah, rah, rah of the time. He wasn't really an organized dude, but it worked with his emotion. Yeah. Probably a lot of takes. Let me punching in and punching out. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let me put it out there to the people that's watching the show. If we want to hear your opinion on Nas. If you're watching the show live, write in the comments. If you're watching it after the fact, write in the comments so we could gather information to help us put together better shows and know what the people in the streets that's watching think. Just write a comment. Let us know what was your favorite Nas song. Put it in the comments. What was your favorite Nas song? And
even if that comment comes after the show, we'll still read it. You'll still be able to touch us. That that you'll be able to comment on these shows at Infinitum, and we'll see them. So
that's right.
Input is appreciated.
And also remember the name of the show is Spin That Back.
That's right. Spin That Back.
Hey, but let me say this though. When I heard that It Ain't Hard to Tell, and I found out when the album was coming out, I had actually bought Ice Cube.
The Predator?
No, it might have been Predator.
Yeah,
I took it back and got Nas. My big brother was upset. He's like, "Man, why you take this back? Why you take Cube back?" Then he heard Nas.
A West Coast nigga.
Yeah, but then he heard
took an Ice Cube album back to the store
and traded
for a Nas.
And
wow.
Then my brother was like, "Oh,
he already had it recorded though. Let's not forget the time. You
already know what time it was."
Hey, let's put this into context. There was a time where we had to hustle. So they used to have
dual deck CD tape player, tape player.
Yeah, but they had them used record stores. So a lot of times we was hustling. We get promotional copies and we sell it. So there's a lot of that moving around and stuff. But it's not to say that he didn't record that and have that.
Wow.
So let's not confuse it. But I hear what you're saying. I thought Predator was dope though.
Oh yeah. After I listened to it, I was like, yeah, it was super dope. But Nas was better. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I think that's a legitimate argument. I
don't agree with.
He said Predator. He said Predator. I think that's a legitimate position to take.
Was it Predator?
I don't think it was better. It wasn't better than Death Certificate.
It was either Predator or Lethal Injection.
Lethal
Injection was not good.
Lethal Injection was after Predator.
Yeah, okay, so Lethal Injection wasn't all that. I think that Lethal Injection had a few. I think it was really, to me, when Cube really fell off was when he did that. What was the next one? That was the Laugh Now. What was it? What was it called?
War and Peace.
War and Peace. That was when I felt like, to me, that was an example of where I felt like Cube is a great rapper, and here he goes. He picked all these cheap beats because he knew that he was going to sell because of Cube, but he probably didn't have to pay nothing for that music because it was trash.
See, this is a whole new topic. We talk about when Cube fell off. I mean, because come on, dude, War and Peace. He still had the him and Dub C and Mac 10. He still had.
I'm just talking about that song.
But I'm saying
he made good albums after that. He made some.
But
good stuff
you said that album is what he fell off with.
He fell off from having when you talk about America's Most, and then you talk about Death Certificate. These are two of the greatest albums of hip hop. Period.
Yeah. And then Kill At Will. Don't get that.
Kill At Will.
I know it's an EP.
So Kill At Will. So then you're talking about it's an EP, but still, that's what you're talking about. Then you're talking about what's the next one? The next one was the Predator, right? Because Lethal Injection was the fourth one.
Yeah.
To me, all of these dudes, he was still messing with Jinx. Jinx is one of the greatest producers, hip hop producers of all time. So, but I'm just saying that when you look at the production from there, and you go to War and Peace, I'm just saying that those guys, to me, weren't on the level of the guys he was working with before, and the music suffered. I'm not saying he fell off, and never came back. Because you're absolutely right. That whole West Side Connection, he came back with a fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't just make good music. That was great. That was a great, a compilation of those three guys. You know what I'm saying? The West Side Connection was a beautiful thing. It's a shame that it all fell apart because whatchamacallit beat up, his brother-in-law.
Or his people.
So Mr. Nice Guy says Ice Cube fell off.
No, that album fell off. That album was a fall off. I'm not saying he fell off and then it was a stumble. It was a stumble. I mean, hey,
from a East Coast.
I'm not gonna hide. I'm gonna tell you, I love MC Shan. MC Shan was the man those first two albums, but that third album, Play It Again, Shan, was trash. And the reason why is because he moved away from Marley. And again, just because you being around someone who's created music, that don't make you someone who can just do what they did.
So you jumped to MC Shan. I didn't even know MC Shan had 3 albums.
What
was MC Shan's second album?
Oh my God.
Oh, that was it? Oh no, I don't remember that.
What was the second album?
Okay, so you want to know what was on the second album?
The name of it.
I don't remember what the first album was called, but I can tell you the songs that were on it. Like he had that song So Deaf. He had So Deaf on it. That was the song that he had I helped pioneer this. I pioneered this or something like that. He had they used to do it out in the park, and he had hip hop, which is
that's the second album. You talking about second album?
That's the second album. Yeah, I mean I have it. I can probably grab it over there. But
I remember Play It Again. So you said Play It Again, Shan is the third album.
And that's the third album because the second album that had Kill That Noise, which was his response to whatchamacallit to
LL,
to South Bronx, and that's what inspired The Bridge Is Over.
Yeah, I think
but he had a song after that called Juice Cool Law that was also on that second album that was basically another retort. And I'm telling you, That song.
I gotta do my sharing
banging.
history.
Juice Crew
Oh
Law.
my God.
Juice Crew Law
I know the
remix
song. I know the song you're talking about.
is
I used to love that
banging.
song. I used to love
Banging,
that song.
banging. You know, so again, that was
Damn.
it. But I'm just telling you, those first two albums, dope. You talk about Project Hope from the first album. You talking about, you know, The Bridge. You talk, you know, those first two albums are straight. In fact, I mean, I'd be willing to argue. We're going to argue it now, but I'm telling you, his first album was better than KRS-One's first album.
I never got into MC Shan discography. I just knew he had some good ass songs.
Let me give a shout out to MC Shan. Let me spin that back and let him know, man. Get some implants, man. We don't like you bring your dentures all over.
That's embarrassing.
Everything, bro.
That's bad. Hey, so man, listen, blame the parents, man. These people that got bad teeth today, it's because their parents didn't tell them to stop eating all that goddamn candy. You know, my children, my wife and we don't eat all that candy. Your teeth gonna go bad. I think my parents did it for me too. You gotta take care of your teeth, man. Look.
Hey, shout out to Shan. I'm definitely team. I'm team Queens. I'm team Juice Crew over BDP every day.
Hell no.
That's my position. What? You know, the product that they produce versus the product that you know the BDP. Don't get me wrong. KRS-One won the battle. Wait, KRS-One won the battle because the other dude self-imploded, and he was the one that was still dancing and doing the victory.
No. Hey. Okay, all right, wait. Nice guy. Hold on. You're trying to justify why he lost. Let's go purely based off of rap skills. Who won?
Okay, so Coogee Rap. Let's go back to who the Juice Crew consisted of.
So you're saying the whole Juice Crew versus the whole BDP crew?
That's what I'm BDP. Yeah, I said Juice Crew versus BDP. I said Queens, dude. The whole Queens move. Everybody that this Queens, because he's talking about the whole Queens. The bridge is over. I'm talking about Queens Bridge. I'm rocking with Queens Bridge. I'm rocking. Did you see the you talking about I mean Nas is Queens Bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
But see,
Queens Bridge.
El Pooh. What you're trying to say is the whole Queensbridge versus the whole Bronx. Totally.
I'm talking about that movement. I'm talking about when they're back and forth.
I'm just talking about MC Shan versus KRS-One.
I wasn't talking about MC Shan versus KRS-One. But if we were to talk about like their first albums, like the first album.
Let's focus on that era.
Okay.
The Boogie Down Bronx with KRS-One versus MC Shan and Marley Marl. Who won that?
Who won it? Nah, KRS won it. He won it with what's The Bridge Is Over. That was the more popular song. He didn't win it because there was bars. I mean, if you look at the lyrics, those lyrics are trash. But the song is a banger.
Oh God. You're saying the
rapping
Bridge
like
Is
they
Over.
gay ya, picking up with the mic when they don't know what to say. Dude, that's not bars. That's not bars. That's not bars.
Shantae is only good for steady what?
That was dope. But you know what?
Come on, dude.
Hey, okay, check this out. But you know what the greatest bar in that whole beef was?
I'm listening.
It was Scott LaRock, you should be ashamed. When T. LaRock said it's yours, he didn't mean his name.
Oh,
that's bars.
That was tight.
Greatest
that was
line.
tight.
T. LaRock, Scott LaRock, you talking about it's yours.
That is, you're right on that part.
Murder.
You're right on that one.
It's murder.
And that one back.
It's murder. Now, Big Daddy Kane wrote that.
You got that one.
And that came after The Bridge Is Over. So I mean, again.
You said you're talking too fast. You said Big Daddy Kane wrote that?
Big Daddy Kane wrote that. So that was Roxanne Shante, Have a Nice Day. That came after The Bridge Is Over.
Big Daddy Kane wrote for Roxanne Shante?
Yes.
He wrote most of her stuff. She was a freestylist. She wasn't. Her and Biz were kind of like more performance guys, so they could do their own stuff, but they were basically like freestylers. And you put a mic in their hand and they do whatever. But a lot of people that do that can't necessarily write songs.
And you had to know that he wrote for Biz too. You know that, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. That's where he started. That's where he got to start from.
Yeah.
No. I know Big Daddy Kane wrote for Biz. I did not know he wrote for Roxanne. I thought Roxanne Shante wrote her own shit.
Most of everything that she did during that era, he wrote.
Wow.
You know,
most of everything.
After that, your other boy, what's his name?
Granddaddy IU.
Yeah,
he's the one that did that Bad Sister where she went off of everybody, or Bad Mama or whatever.
Bad Mama.
She dissed everybody so hard that they like ganged up on her ass, ended up crying. But that song is it's a body. It's just killing all the sisters at the
I
time.
did not know Big Daddy Kane wrote.
Yeah, it was so many lines in that song, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
Told
go listen to Bad Mama.
Told yo, you need to stump your ass down to Jack LaLanne.
Hey, did y'all ever hear the story of KRS-One when he says he was in the bank and Roxanne Shante confronted his ass?
Yeah.
She said, "How dare you talk about I'm only good for steady effing?"
It was disrespectful.
He said she ran up on him. He didn't know what to do. A girl run. He didn't know what to do.
That's why he never responded to "Have a nice day." He said that was part of their agreement. That he goes, "Look, you come at me, I'm not gonna come back at you, and we're gonna let that be." But I'm just saying, as a lyricist, Shan was in front of him. As an MC, as a person live on stage, no one was touching that. You know, if he was like Shan told you, he said, "Look, man, if I get on stage, he's gonna kill my ass." When it comes to
What? I was getting ready to. You know what? Hold on. Let me go ahead. Go.
He's saying that Shan was a better lyricist than KRS-One. Do you agree with that?
Hell no.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Go grab
that's
the lyric
ridiculous.
After this show,
KRS-One is one of the best lyricists, period. He's in my top 10.
KRS-One is one of the best rappers. KRS-One is one of the best rappers and absolutely one of the best MCs that hip hop has ever seen.
Right, so I'm
let me finish my point.
He's an MC.
Let me finish.
I'm challenging you. Define lyricist, because you're using specific words. What do you mean? Define lyricist, and we can.
I'm talking about a lyricist. I'm talking about the clever construction of your bars, not just the. Again, you should shake in here. Lyricist, the clever construction of your bars, and it's not just the metaphors that you use, because that's one layer of it.
So MC Shan is more clever.
You gonna let me finish? You gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
Okay, so again, you're talking about the because if you want to evaluate lyrics, what you really want to do is print out this person's lyrics and print out that person's lyrics, and then take away the rapper altogether and just deal with the strength of what you see on paper. So when I talk about a person as a lyricist, like when I talk about a person like Talib Kweli, this is a person whose strength is lyrics more than I would say his strength is rapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a bad rapper. I'm just saying that he's a greater lyricist. And what you're talking about is not only the constructs of his lyrics, but you're talking about the patterns. You're talking about how you're setting it up for the cadence of the presentation of it. So it's all of that stuff. So that's why when you talk about a brother like Kool G, who you're talking about, he didn't just hit you with something clever. Certain rappers were vulgar, like Luke Skywalker. You know what I'm saying? Or Luther Campbell.
Stay focused.
I'm giving you focus, but I'm giving you an analogy. I'm giving you an analogy so you understand. He was vulgar, but he wasn't necessarily clever with it. It was just straight vulgar. Whereas Kool G was clever. He was vulgar, but he was clever.
Give me an example of MC Shan more clever than KRS-One.
Well, first of all, The Bridge. So
I'm listening.
The Bridge. Okay, I'm just telling you, The Bridge is a better song than South Bronx.
Oh my God.
Period.
Hold on.
I disagree. El Pooh, come on, man.
It's a better song than South Bronx.
No.
South Bronx is got South Bronx. The best thing about South Bronx is like the chorus. It's the hypeness about them coming in the South Bronx, the South Bronx, and then the scratching of Curtis Blow up in the Bronx. But you're talking about, he's basically sort of like copying MC Shan's flow when he's doing certain things. So he's actually making fun of him. But I mean, so that's why it is. But I mean, it's just, there's not like great lyrics happening on South Bronx.
I disagree completely.
Hey, I'm telling you, The Bridge is
the best thing about The Bridge is the beat. That's MC.
No. Hell no.
The best thing about The Bridge is Marley Marl's beat. When that shit first drops, you hear that, and however that shit works out. I was like, when I first heard The Bridge, I was like, wow, this shit is amazing. All I listened to was the beat and how MC Shan rolled the beat. I'm like, this shit is fucking amazing.
And it was a classic beat because that's the first time that you heard that impeach the president drum line.
And I'm never gonna underscore Marley's production. So absolutely, the best thing about most of the great songs is gonna be the beat, but it's also what you do with it. But I'm saying that he actually delivered.
Disagree.
He actually has lyrics on top of that.
Okay. Since we disagreeing on that, let's go ahead and just spin it on back, and let's get to this one big old debate that we're always having: Big Daddy Kane versus G-Rap. Who was better?
Oh God, you talking about on the Symphony?
Okay, let's start with the Symphony. Who was better?
Let's stick to the Symphony because as
He
far
was
as body
scared.
weight,
He was scared. He was really like, don't take me. He said, don't take me to the after away for them first 2 hours.
Let's
Big Daddy
stick to the
Kane.
Symphony.
He said, don't talk about when Big Daddy
Let's
Kane
stick to
became a
the
lover. Don't do none of that stuff. Let's just talk about when he was the
Hey, the Symphony. Come on.
Let's stick to the Symphony.
making veterans run for medicine.
Oh
It's cool. G. I'm telling you, Big Daddy Kane has the best line as far as that quarter in your ass.
Oh,
That's the
God.
best line.
That was the best line.
But the best group of whatever, it's Cool G. Cool G murdered that. The patterns, all of that stuff. He
Symphony. It's Symphony. My bad.
Yeah, Symphony.
Look, no. Listen, Big Daddy Kane killed that shit. Big Daddy Kane, that's in my opinion, that's where he solidified he's the greatest. In my opinion, Big Daddy, because there was a problem. I was an LL Cool J fan from the radio all the way up to that point to when Big Daddy Kane came out. I said, you know what? Maybe there's a better rapper out there better than LL Cool J. And that was when Big Daddy Kane was coming with his shit. And that Symphony, when you listen to that shit, I don't care who go first. And Big Daddy, come on. Big Daddy Kane killed that, dude. Craig G, I mean, what's the dude's name? What's his name again?
G-Rap.
Cool G-Rap was cool. He was cool.
He started off, I'm telling you why he was. What made him so better on that song right there? He's the only one that Marley Marl actually broke the beat down for. Yo, Marley gives a slice. He started breaking the beat down. You know what I'm saying?
Get nice in my voice just twice as horrifying as Vincent Price.
Good point. Good point.
Oh man.
Good point.
No.
Good point. But hey, I'm gonna tell you, dude. Y'all gotta convince me. I'm listening. Why is he better?
I'm kind of shocked that the Symphony is what did it for you, because to me, the Symphony, I think that Big Daddy Kane already sort of like made his case with his individual songs.
Raw.
I mean, to me,
ain't no half stepping.
But I mean, I thought like Get Into It. To me, I felt like this was not Get Into It. That was a dope ass song. But Getting Funky, I thought this was a perfect song.
What's that?
That was the one with the that was the flip side of Getting To It. That was his first single. His first single was Get Into It and
Big
Funky
Daddy Kane?
Huh?
Big Daddy Kane got
Big Daddy Kane's. His first single was a song called. There's 3 songs: Get Into It, Funky, or Getting Funky, and Rhyming with Biz. Getting Funky was basically the same beat as Rhyming with Biz. It's just one was he was rhyming with Biz.
Get Into It? I don't remember that.
I don't know nothing.
It's a dope ass song. It's a dope ass song. It's a beat that we've heard many times.
It's on Long Live the Kane album.
I don't know if it made the album. It probably should have. It should have. But then again, they only used Rhyming with. I think they only used Get Into It. They didn't use like both of those songs didn't make the album, so I wouldn't be surprised if Get Into It. But that's listen to. He's going off on Get Into It. Get Into It is one of those like freestyle when we were considering freestyle, just going off, rapper going off type of stuff. That's what that was. So to me,
set it off for it too. Set it off was.
Hey, this nice guy. This is what I want to do. Yeah, I want your opinion. Album for album. Rose to the Riches is the Cool G Damn Rap first album, right?
Road to the Riches.
Is that their first one?
I think so. Road to the Riches is the first album.
And then Long Live the Kane was his first album. Which was better?
No. You gotta understand.
Let's go.
No, this is cool.
What you said in the name of the song? What did you say? Going off, getting off.
Set it off.
Set it off.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I said Get Into It.
Get Into It. Okay.
Yeah, look up, go to YouTube and Get Into It. I let you guys take a break and do some homework. You know what I'm saying? But we can't play songs on whatever. But if you want me to spend time and talk, it's called,
Oh shit!
yeah, it's called Get Into It.
Get Into It. I know.
I never heard that. I don't know nothing about that song.
This is, hey, matter of fact, that might have been the song where, because Marley Marl used to talk about his favorite rapper to work with was Big Daddy Kane, because that was when he was doing that, and he just was like, Big Daddy Kane went to a whole nother level. Like he had been working with all these other.
So what? That to me, respectfully, that don't mean nothing. What the producer says he likes him, that don't mean nothing. We're talking us three. I want to hear your opinion.
What Marley Marl's got to say matters to me. I mean, this is.
I want your opinion. The best album.
Again, but my point is that you're talking about album. You're talking about album. Album is just not a function of who is the better rapper. It's a function of who things together.
It is. If you're a rapper, Kendrick Lamar could make a great album just as rapping. We don't even question who makes the beats.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you three albums. I'm gonna give you three albums. Two of those albums are the ones that you talked about, because I had this debate with Omar. Okay, so you're talking about Kool G Rap's first album. You're gonna talk about Big Daddy Kane's first album, and then he said,
"That's all we're talking about."
Well, no, and talk about Biz Marquis' first album. Okay. And listen, because I'm gonna tell you that I think Biz Marquis' first album was probably better than both of their first albums. But in no way would I tell you that Biz Marquis was better than Kool G Rap or Kane, because again, it's the combination.
You're basically saying what I'm saying, that Big Daddy Kane is better, because Big Daddy Kane basically wrote Biz Marquis' first album, right?
No. That doesn't mean he's better than him. I'm talking about the album, because you got to talk about the beats. You're talking about all of this stuff. It's not just a function of just who's the better rapper. It's not just a rapper. You're not a rapper.
So I got to specify. We talking about lyrical skills. Which album was better?
Oh, lyrical skills. It's no question that Kool G was better than Kane in the first album. But I would still say if you're talking about better songs, I'm kind of on the fence about that. I have to think about that, because to me, a song is bigger than it. Like, for example, Dwick doesn't have the greatest lyrics on it, but to me, it's one of the greatest.
Dwick is Gangstar, right?
Yeah, Gangstar. It's one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. One of the songs that'll get me the hypest.
I love that song.
But again, it's not about.
You're going off track, though. You're going off track.
No, because I'm telling you how a song comes together. A song is more than just what a rapper does.
How do you say that Big Daddy Kane is better lyrically, but not better as an album? We're talking about lyrically, right?
There's two different things. You're talking about the album is better. You're talking about the phonics of it. You're talking
about Big Daddy Kane first album.
Yeah, Big Daddy's first.
When you listen to the lyrics, are you more amazed by Big Daddy Kane, or are you more amazed by Road to the Riches?
I'm amazed. I'm amazed by Road to the Riches. Road to the Riches.
Why?
Lyrically.
Why?
The patterns, the constructions. When he's talking about on stuff like Truly Yours and all these things, he's not just telling you. One thing about KRS-One is he just got straight to the point. That's why I don't really view him in the beginning as like so much of a lyricist, as a great rapper, because he's just telling you something straight. He's not necessarily constructing something like great metaphors or nothing like that. He's just telling you like I'm telling to you, except he's just delivering it in super dope fashion and it's rhyming, but he's talking to you. Whereas what Kool G is doing is something completely different. These patterns are extremely complicated. Big Daddy Kane did patterns too, but he did patterns that everybody replicated. He sort of like set the tone. So when you're talking about impact, Big Daddy Kane was the impact. Big Daddy Kane was the one that everybody was copying. There's no question about that. If you're talking about which one's a better album, I say, you know what? Maybe he did. I have to revisit it. But as far as once you said that who did a better job as rapping as a lyricist, to me, there's no question that Kool G did on that first album, lyrically, what he did compared to Kane, he beat it hands down.
I like G-Rap, but that first album was a lot of songs on. It was a lot of songs on there I didn't really appreciate.
That's the way I felt about.
But I'm gonna say this though: his second album beats Kane's second album hands down.
What was the second album?
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Okay. Yeah, but Kane's was Kane had. But you know what?
Kane was. It's a big.
The second album was when he went away from Marley and was doing his own stuff. So that was another situation.
Who?
Big Daddy Kane.
He left for Marley after his first album.
You know, there's a very big important fact that a lot of people forget. In the heat of the Queensbridge War,
didn't Marley do?
Hold on,
Marley did Smooth Operator.
He said what?
Marley Marr did a Smooth Operator. I think
that's the second album.
Yes,
wait, check it out. Go check it out. I'm just telling you, most of that album, if not all of it, most of it was produced by Big Daddy Kane and
you know who else? Moby, I think, did some stuff on that.
Hey, listen, Long Live the Kane was one of my favorite.
That was all Marley. That was all Marley. That's all Marley.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? See, okay.
Long Live the Kane is the first one. That was all
Which
Marley.
one? That's the
Smooth
one.
Operator.
He looked like Caesar. He looked like Caesar.
Yeah. That
okay.
was all Marley.
What's the next one? The next one. What's the next album?
It's a big. It's a Big Daddy thing.
Big Daddy Kane.
That's the album. That's the album I'm talking about. That was one of my favorite albums.
He had Prince Paul. Yeah. He had Prince Paul on there. Prince Paul did a track for him. That was when he left the Marley camp. I said the point.
Easy Moby was on there too. He did Call Him Mr. Welfare. He did a couple of other ones too.
So he showed and proved that he could survive without Marley Marl.
Ooh.
I mean, if you feel that way, to me,
that album was great.
Well, you know what? Okay, but on
dun, 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 dun. Come on,
that was Marley Marl. That was Marley Marl.
Oh,
Marley Marl did that.
What's the name of that song?
No, Mortal Kombat. He did
that.
To me, you kept jumping in. I'm trying to explain to everybody. You sit there jumping out. Mortal Kombat.
Go ahead, Mr. Nice.
Make you say, Daddy, I don't want none.
Oh my God!
To me, that was the best song on that album. And not only that, I remember going to a show where Kane and Houdini was performing, and Kane was like, "Hey, which song y'all want me to do next?" And people was out there shouting Mortal Kombat, and he's like, "Man, I don't even remember the lyrics to that." But he must have got so much pressure that now he always performs it.
Oh my God!
He killed it on that song.
That song was like the best shit ever.
I think you probably have a good argument that album might have been better because he went to like some of the top producers of that day outside of just Marley.
It was better than Wanted Dead or Alive?
No. I'm not talking about Cool G. We're talking about Big Daddy Kane.
Than his first album.
Yeah, because Marley did all the first one, then he moved away from Marley. Because the point I was trying to make is that he didn't want to be associated with the Juice Crew. He was the first person that sort of left. Is like because he was like real tight with KRS-One.
Shan was the first one left.
Huh?
Shan, I think, was the first one.
No. Shan was one of the last ones. Matter of fact, you had Craig G and whatchamacallit, not Craig G, but Master Ace, they were dissing, that Kool G Rap and Shan were two of the last people still holding on to the Juice Crew.
Okay.
Because Shan had a whole different relationship than all the new rappers. Him and Marley Marl, they go way back.
They was super
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Spend that back.
They went back. Yeah, they went back. But again, also it was a function of, that Shan kind of did his own thing. And then once everybody jumped on,
their relationship was different.
Because and Shan also, he was kind of an asshole. I mean, he's still kind of an asshole. I'm a big Shan fan, so I love him. I love him now. But
I think you have to be.
Well, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. He did not function the right way because he had miserable relationships with everybody.
But see, okay.
That's why Play It Again Shan happened, because he was an asshole. If he had a great relationship with some good producers, that would have probably been, because he was solid on it. The music was trash. He was solid on it.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all spin that back real quick. I was trying to say that G-Rap kind of stepped away from Marley on his second album too.
Ooh. Because
Eric B did some tracks. I think Large Professor.
Did DJ Polo produce? Was he a producer?
Eric B put his name on it. Large Professor is the one that did all that stuff.
Cool V did some stuff.
But hey, did you hear what I said? Oh, Pooh. Large Professor said he mixed up all of that stuff, and basically Eric B just put his name on it.
Eric B was a gangster.
That sounds right. That sounds about right.
Eric B was a gangster.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a gangster.
Yeah, Eric B was the first person I knew that had the Rolls Royce in hip hop. It's real talk.
But I mean, he hung with real dudes. So I mean, it was like, when you look at that out the back of that was it the Rakim, the Paid in Full album, and you see that's like, that whole posse of people where you're like, oh, here goes the original 50 Cent. Here goes the
Killer Pen, all them cats.
Yeah.
And see, that's something to talk about in the future, because I was listening to like every time the Paid in Full comes on the radio, dude, I'm like, this is a song that withstands the test of time. That song, it came on last night, I'm driving that Disney.
I don't like that version. I hate that version. I
love it, bro. I love it.
I actually like that remix. I actually like that remix. I think
timeless. It's timeless.
Hey, the remix I don't like is the version of Eric B as president that they put on the album. I was like, yo, y'all should have rocked the original one. That was like,
when they cut off
make them clap to this and all this other stuff. But I'm like, you guys took this is a classic, perfect song. Yeah, don't mess that up, you know.
Hey, I'm gonna put something out here on the Spin That Back show.
Hold on, let me spin it back. What's that now?
In my opinion, Rakim is the greatest rap artist of all time.
You said artist.
Rap artist of all time. As far as covering his lyrical abilities, he can span from that was the 80s to the 2020 or whatever year we living in now. His lyric, the way he raps and delivers is unmatched.
The Mount Rushmore of my era is this.
You ain't talking about my woe.
I'm just telling you. I'm not gonna tell you who's the best. I'm gonna tell you my Mount Rushmore of my era is Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, KRS-One.
Ooh.
So to me, they all come with different elements. You know what I'm saying? To me, Big Daddy Kane was the master of the punchline. He had a better punchline than anybody. So
we very close. We very close in agreement.
So then when you're talking about Coogee Rap as far as the patterns, greatest patterns, when you talk about Rakim, just the lyrics, it's just every bar was just like amazing, just whatever stuff. Then you talk about KRS-One, just greatest MC. So I mean, those are those guys. That's my era.
Come on, El Pooh.
I believe Rakim. I'm just saying this about Rakim. Rakim was the most influential rapper of all time. Period. Because when he came out with that slow flow, it changed the whole game forever.
Come on, bro. Come on.
He did change because everybody was yelling and screaming. Everybody was screaming, yelling and screaming like LL Cool J. And then when Rakim came out, we're like, you know,
LL even stopped screaming. Whoa.
But MC Shan makes MC Shan makes a great point. If you go listen to the first song, what's the first song called?
My Melody or Eric?
No. I'm talking about MC Shan's first song, where the one that he said that LL Cool J stole from him. Marley Scratch. If you listen to Marley Scratch, MC Shan ain't yelling. He's doing a real smooth rap over that, you know. So, you know, there was an example of a person that was killing you with a real smooth rap because he was phenomenal on that. Phenomenal.
So you bring up a new point. Did LL take from MC Shan?
Well, he didn't produce it.
No, I'm saying when I say take, the way MC Shan dressed with the Kango hat and the sweatsuits, did LL take that from MC Shan?
No. I think he took that from the dude that was there was a certain like guy from his area that sort of like had that whole thing.
Ooh.
I forget what his name is, but he ended up joining the group. Now you remember Main Source?
Yeah.
So Main Source was those two dudes and Extra P, right?
those two DJs he said.
Two DJs and Large Professor. I'm just telling you who.
I couldn't tell you who was in Main Source.
But my point is that they replaced Large Professor, left Main Source, and there's another guy. That's the guy that basically LL's got his style from. That was a dude from the neighborhood that, you know, sort of like he stole that from. So I forget what his name. So I apologize that I don't know that guy's name. But that's the guy that you know who was out there doing that style. But as far as copying MC Shan, I don't think he did.
Wasn't it the dude from UTFO named Kango Kid?
Yep. Oh,
yeah, but that was like after. That was not before.
No, that was before.
What?
That was way before. What are you talking about?
Cool J?
Hold on.
UTFO came out like 84, something like that. Roxanne was 84, 85 at the latest.
They might have been the same time.
No, they came.
You got to think about it because you got to think about it. You know, this is how I'm gonna bust you out because you Roxanne.
You gonna bust me?
Pause.
Let's go.
Pause.
Just think about it. UTFO's first song was Roxanne, right?
Yeah.
And Roxanne Shante came very quickly after that, right? So you're right that they're before because
I don't remember LL at that time.
Huh?
I don't remember no LL at that time.
No, but I'm gonna say that MC Shan and them was after, because MC Shan was after Roxanne, Rox. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about that era that obviously he was first, because Roxanne preceded Roxanne's Revenge, which was basically the beginning of not the beginning of the Juice Crew. The Juice Crew began with the female Dimples D.
Juice Crew began at the radio station.
Not the original Juice Crew. I'm talking about the Marley Marl Juice Crew. The Marley Marl, Mr. Magic Juice Crew began with Dimples D.
Dimples. I've never heard of Dimples D.
Yeah, that was the one.
You don't know your hip hop, so let's bring that back.
Hey, and that song Marley.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to learn.
Hey, and Marley Scratch, Shan, all the scratches that they're doing are basically scratching from Dimples D's song and stuff like that. So MC Shan is sort of like is formulating his lyrics around those sort of like breaks from that Dimples D song. So the Dimples D song was called damn it, I forgot. I know it was like Marley Marl's One Hell of a Man, but that was I forgot what it's called. But Dimple D was the Dimple D's was the first. They even talk about it on the bridge. Because Dimple D's, they were great. Her and Marley Marl when he cut her plate. Then he talks about Roxanne Shante and then Craig G, MC Craig, huh?
Sucker DJ.
Sucker DJs. That was the first one, and that was that was like it wasn't an answer. It wasn't an answer to Sucker MCs, but it was sort of like a follow up. A lot of times females were doing answers. Like Salt and Pepper's first song was Dissing the Show. Their first song was The Showstopper. Yeah. So it was like this wasn't and Roxanne Shantae's her first song was dissing, Roxanne, she did Roxanne's Revenge. So these people, they did Sucker DJs, but they didn't do it as an answer. They just did it as like a supplement.
Right. Ooh. Right. Hey, that's some hip hop history for you.
Word, man. See what Mr. Nice Guy is doing, he's forcing me. I got to do my research.
Yeah,
hey man, for real. After this ends, go listen to Get Into It. Get Into It. That's the song. I want to know. I can almost picture
that Dimple D.
I can't picture it. I can't see, but it's on Prism. It's a blue label.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, this is his first single. It's a blue. It's on Prism Records. It's a blue. It's a blue thing. I can't picture it. I can't see, but I can almost picture it. I'm so close to it. But yeah, nah.
Oh man.
You understand? I started out as a DJ, so I was getting all that stuff. And shout out to my brother Marcellus Royal. Marcellus Royal got a big financial money fall at one point and bought a whole bunch of records, and that's how a person on the West Coast was able to get access to a lot of East Coast music, because he was buying all of the stuff. So shout out to my boy Marcellus. That was a dude that was instrumental to sort of like my DJ culture and exposure and stuff like that.
And let me give a shout out to Mr. Nice Guy too, because he is about 15 years older than
I'm a little bit older than the rest of the guys. Yeah, that's true. So
he had access to all this stuff while we was in elementary school. He was in college somewhere. So
it's true, and I'll be a little bit older tomorrow.
Right. Oh, that's your birthday tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. So,
well, happy early birthday.
Happy future birthday, man. Have a great day.
Spin That Back show. From the Focus Up Network. But check this out. Hey, next time, man, we need to talk about that Southern hip hop, because that's where you can educate us at. You know what I'm saying? You, Mr. Nice. Excuse me, Mr. Floyd X.
Yeah, you.
If you're talking No Limit and Cash Money, yes, I'm all over that.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go back to MC Shan and all that. We can't go there.
That was like Florida Southern. I guess that's still South.
Nah. If you're talking Florida,
in Georgia.
If you're talking about Florida, I
think it was Georgia.
Nah.
You're right. It was Luke Records, but you're right. I think he did grab him from over there,
Yeah. But,
and Luke been in the game for a long time. See, a lot of people don't give Luke
DJ Magic Mike.
Hey, there you go.
I do. That we lived by that. When we lived in Florida, we lived by DJ Magic Mike was the bar in Florida.
And Florida ain't they groundbreaking on the bass music and all that little stuff?
That's bass.
And you know what?
Stole that bass technique from Marley.
Don't say Ronnie Young.
And all those girls they used to dance for Luke, all their daughters and granddaughters are up there rapping now.
Word.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it.
That's a real talk. All right, we out, man. Thank y'all for watching the show. Thanks to El Poo for creating the show. We got to Spin That Back every Saturday at 10:30. Y'all want to do that?
We can do that, yes.
Every Saturday at 10:30. Nice
Tune
guy,
in.
you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, we out.